Minneapolis City Council members and the new mayor are ringing in the new year. Well, they're doing it big time. In case you missed it over the busy holidays, they quietly gave themselves a $10,000 pay raise during the last meeting of the year. That was the focus of Pat Kessler's latest reality check. Pat, political pay raises. I mean, this became like a constitutional situation here in the state.
Yeah.
Nobody ever wants these guys to get a pay raise, but this one, whether or not you think they deserved it, is the way it was done, I think, that made people irritated.
Well, that's exactly right. There are a lot of good reasons to give a pay raise to elected officials. And I'm one of those who say you got to pay these people to serve in public office because they do important work. They work really hard on issues that we all want. So it's important to get good people in office. Here is the issue here, that it was the last meeting of the year. There was no advance notice on the agenda. There was no committee hearing, no public comment. And apparently all the council members knew about it because they voted unanimously yes. So that's the issue with this. It might be better for a lot of elected officials if they make their case, even if it's controversial, and then vote themselves a raise, because I think they could support something like that. This one went more the Secret Santa route, where they gave themselves a Christmas present.
Pat, let's go back to those explosive remarks made by, or attributed to Steve Bannon in a new book. President Trump's lawyers, they have sent a letter to Bannon demanding he stop making negative comments about the president's first family.
Yeah, so the first thing that tells me is that those comments are generally true if they want him to stop talking about it. Let's focus on one thing. This is January 4th, isn't it? We're the 4th day into the new year, and things are blowing up all over the place. So this is more of the dysfunction I think we've been seeing in Washington, and more of the chaos coming out of the Trump White House. We did a story a few weeks ago about all of the things that President Trump has accomplished. However, how would you know with all of the drama going on in the West Wing? This is really remarkable to watch and something I've never seen before.
Voter fraud, the commission disbanded by President Trump, and this morning he tweeted exactly what you would have expected him to tweet, that many mostly Democrat states refused to hand over data from the election to the commission. They fought hard that the commission not see the records or methods because they know that many people are voting illegally. System is rigged, must go to voter ID. We know that some people are voting illegally. But the question is it many people? We've never seen evidence that that's the case.
Well, there are very, very few cases of people in voter impersonation or voter fraud. Very few cases. This is one of the only times I've ever seen a president say that, who won the election, by the way, says that he should have won the popular vote had it not been for at least 3 million illegal votes. Now, the proportion for that here in Minnesota is about 60,000 illegal votes, and there is just no evidence of that. There were about 27 people who have some voter irregularities, and they were charged with that, so not 60,000. Something to remember is that this is just not happening, and our Secretary of State was among many Republican and Democrat secretaries of state who said they're not going to turn over this private voter data to the President's Commission because they thought it would be used for political reasons. So that thing is over, and the President says he's going to keep pursuing it, but he's saying without evidence that there's widespread illegal voting. And that's something I think we're going to have to watch for the next year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 2018 kind of off to the same start that we saw in 2017.
Yes,
man, oh man.
Thanks, Pat. We'll look for your reports tonight at 5 and 6.